Today is July 22nd, correct me if I'm wrong.
23rd.
Planning Board,
23rd.
23rd, July 23rd, 2025, Planning Board calling to order. Alphabetical roll call, please.
Clark Brewer here.
Amy Glassmeyer here.
Kevin Heine here.
Deirdre Hobson here.
Birgit Schmidt-Wiesche here.
Perfect. And we have Justin Parada joining us for council. The agenda, can someone cue me with the agenda, please?
Sure. So first on the agenda is the land alteration special permit application for 58 Gammons Road.
Perfect. And we have panelists online and ready to join for a presentation on that. And then we'll get into our standard Q&A with regard to that.
I think we have to read the public hearing.
I just want to say, Kevin, I have to read the public hearing notice.
Yeah, no, I
Please.
get it. I just want to make sure we have the attendees for that hearing on board.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
have the applicant and you have PGB Engineering as your peer review. You also have Kevin Grady as the applicant's engineer.
all right, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Then we'll proceed, and Birgit, if you have the appropriate language and can proceed with that, that'd be great.
Yep, I do. So good evening, planning board members and interested members from the community. Pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48 and Section 300-9.1 of the Cohasset zoning bylaws, the planning board is holding a virtual public hearing on the Zoom platform, webinar ID 840-0936-4599, passcode 127077, this Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025 at 6:33 for a land alteration special permit for a property being shown on Cohasset Assessors Maps E3-20-006, 58 Gammons Road, Cohasset, Massachusetts 02025. The application is for removal of 101.2 cubic yards of ledge for construction accessories to a single-family home. The application is submitted by Clive Standish, 46 Gammons Road, Cohasset, Massachusetts 02025. If the public audience wants to follow along, you can obtain electronic versions of the application material by visiting the website cohassetma.org/524/active-pb-applications. Any person from the public wishing to be heard on the application on the Zoom call should please utilize the Zoom's raise hand function, and we will promote you to speak. Over to you, Kevin. Kevin, you are on mute.
While it's doing that, thank you. The applicants are here, and if they would be so kind as to provide an overview of the project and appropriate details, and then we'll go into our peer review. And I see Patrick Brennan is here. So Patrick, if you don't mind just standing by while we'll get a quick overview from the applicant with regard to the details on this project and the process that's led us here today.
Sounds good. Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Grady from Grady Consulting. Representing the applicant for the land alteration special permit. It's okay if I share the screen so we can review the plans?
Please.
Everybody
Yep.
see the screen okay?
We do.
All right, great. Site's at 58 Gammons Road. Sounds like a few of you have been out there and you're all from Cohasset, so you may be familiar with this area. The project is for the raising of an existing house and the construction of a new dwelling on the property. We've prepared site plans to detail conformance with numerous regulations. In this case, we're going to mostly focus on the land alteration special permit, but I'll walk you through the entire set. Give you an idea, an overview of what the applicant is looking to with this property.
Kevin, to
Yes.
do is if they just enlarge it a tiny bit, so close the
Sure.
marks, and that helps a little already. Thank you.
Sure. A lot of zoning information, detail, et cetera. We'll breeze by that. The site is located toward the end of Gammons Road. Little Harbor is to the north. There's a bordering vegetated wetland to the north. There's also some wetlands off to the south. This sheet's for zoning compliance. We're basically showing setbacks to the property lines and detailing some zoning. As you can see in the color up, he's looking to do a turnaround driveway. The brown is the new house, and looking to do a terraced pool in this location here, and the lighter brown is the deck. Just walk through. This second sheet is the existing conditions. This shows all the current details that are out there today, including the existing dwelling. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that. It is a older brick dwelling. The applicant would like to update modernize this structure. If you go there and you look at it, it's an interesting house. It's got some nice masonry associated with it. Even the tile pipes that are collecting the downspouts are really neat. But from a practical perspective, it's got old windows. You don't get a lot of light in there. The views toward Little Harbor are out of outdated small windows. And then I'm sure there's numerous insulation and structural issues that would need to be contended with. So for those reasons, the applicant's looking to modernize this space. We did a detailed survey of the site. You can see in the gray scale is the existing ledge. And this blue is the wetlands resource area. And then you can see Little Harbor, salt marsh, etc. Any questions on the existing condition? Just go to the next sheet here. This is the site plan. Basically, what we're showing here is how we're going to get the circulation for the driveway. The main purpose of this plan is grading and also show some of the drainage, how we're going to attenuate the drainage, which is these two subsurface rectangles located to the rear. As you can see, there's not a lot of contours proposed on this project. We are trying to work with the grade to minimize tree clearing, minimize ledge removal, and try to maintain the character of the lot as is. We do have some contours in the back here. We do need to terrace this grade out a little bit to allow us to site some drainage structures. Where we're getting close to the harbor, we get close to groundwater, et cetera. We need to create a flat area here and also give us a place to attenuate the stormwater. This is the downhill side. So we're up at elevation, just a little bit. We're at 28 in the front and all the way down to 10 in the back. If you go to the house currently, it does slope the same amount. Currently, it slopes down quite a bit. There's quite a few stairs and walkways around the existing ledge outcroppings. Bear with me for one moment. Here's your page. Got there. This is really the main focus of tonight's meeting for the land alteration. This plan details our tree inventory as well as the ledge removal and exposure table. We located 34 trees, 29 of which are in the buffer zone, and the remainder are outside the buffer zone. Of those 34 trees, we're proposing to remove 4. They are outlined in red. Tree number 1 is at the corner of the pool here, in order to construct the pool and keep it out of the buffer zone and get the light that they're looking for from the south. And for numerous reasons, this is why the pool is located in this location and why it's necessary to remove this tree. This tree is on the perimeter here. This is at the Towa slope. I'm actually standing in for the designer here. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of removal of this one is. My bet is it's going to have some issues with the Towa slope, and it may not be in great health, would be my guess. These 2 trees need to come out for construction of the driveway, and they are fairly large trees and would have negative impacts on the new structure. So in order to get the proper circulation for the driveway and to protect the new dwelling, the roof, siding, etc., the applicant is looking to remove those trees.
Quick
So-
question.
Sure.
What's the red dotted line indicating?
That would be the erosion control and the limit of work. So we're going to set a 12-inch silt sock at the limit of work here to protect the resource area from erosion and sedimentation during construction and until slope stabilization has occurred.
Okay.
And Kevin, if you could you just walk
Sure.
us through these other colors shown here? Green are the vegetation and the trees.
Yep.
Purple, blue, and there's a light orange, and then of course the gray. Just
Sure.
make sure we're all on board with what you're showing us here, please.
Yep, just heading there. So this is the ledge legend. Gray is existing. Blue, light blue is exposed ledge removal, and purple is proposed ledge exposure. So we can walk through this. Obviously, this portion of the ledge is within the proposed dwelling, needs to be removed in order to deal with the stormwater and drainage and let water bypass, and also have access around the house. We're looking to propose like a 10-foot cut through here. This portion is within the dwelling, same. So we need to remove that in order to construct it. These ledge outcrops are, interfering with the passage of vehicles. This provides some good circulation. If you go there now, you need to back out onto a narrow road. If you have more than, a couple of cars, you're juggling, etc. This gives a much better access to the house and circulation. So you're pulling out nose first, improve safety, etc. So in order to construct this turnaround driveway, looking to remove this ledge, again, this is impacting the construction of the house and foundations, removing this gives us the ability to construct the foundation. And these areas are, within the pool and the terrace. So that needs to be removed in order to construct that. The purple is where we're looking to expose additional ledge to offset for the loss of the ledge removal. I believe we have a chart over here.
This is Amy Glassmeyer. Can you point that out again?
The ledge exposure?
Correct.
Sure. So the purple is currently either has vegetation over it or earth, and these are the areas that the applicant, along with our assistants, has chosen to expose the ledge to make up for the loss.
So,
Sure.
So just putting this on a list around the one-to-one exchange, let's put on your list as an issue that we'll talk about. It's not clear to me that clearing vegetation constitutes a one-to-one exchange for ledge.
So Amy, well, let's keep that as a thought point when we're doing our discussion after this presentation here.
Can I
What-
just?
Yeah,
add-
Birgit, I want to provide ample time for Kevin to go through here thoroughly, and then we can ask him questions at the end. But if there's points of clarification, I've got no problem with people asking Kevin to that.
Yeah, a brief clarification. So, the ledge that is kind of like under the garage part, right? As far as I visited the site with the owner, and I think some of that doesn't even have to be removed, but it's kind of like built over it, if I understood that correct, or at least, kind of not the entirety of it needs to be removed. Is that correct?
Correct. Well, the part within the structure or on the edge over here? I'm not sure if
so
I
like
follow.
it's the garage is situated higher, and the ledge kind of comes in kind of on the sloped area already, so it kind of looked like you don't have to remove the entire ledge. You can build on top of it, kind of to a large extent. So I just wanted to clarify. So like we're probably not looking at the entire volume of that.
Right, but there should be some ledge exposed here after
Yeah.
After getting it to grade. It's hard to detail.
Okay.
So, and I guess that would be we could discuss that with the landscaper. I don't see, in order to not have exposed ledge here, you would have to put loam and seed. So I think really in this location, it will probably be some mixture of the ledge, so this purple color. I did look at this with our designer before, and I had the same thought process here. I really think there'll be some more exposed ledge in here than is necessarily shown by this detail.
Yeah.
So I do agree there.
But from a calculation standpoint, was that area in its entirety used on the removal side of the ledger?
Correct.
Okay, great.
So conservative approach on that aspect. As far as the orange, that's temporary stockpile area, construction entrance, and potential dewatering if it's needed. So construction phase locations for various construction activities that we need to show for protection of resource areas, et cetera. see, so we provided the table of mitigation. Exposed ledge to be removed. 1,300. Required mitigation. The house is exempt based on the regulations for the removal. So the required mitigation is 436, and we're proposing 1,000 square feet. And cubic yards is 84 square feet. For the primary house, and then pool, patio, and driveway is 5 cubic yards. Total of 94. So I guess, and then I'll just go through the last few. We do have a landscape plan prepared by our landscape architect. Planting table is over here with the various species. And then they are called out the various locations and plantings. So he's got some trees, got a tree located here. And I can try to answer some questions on this if you have any, but that's really not my area of expertise. Building height calculation, pre-development for stormwater analysis. So we're trying to figure out how much water is going off the site today. And then this is the post-development. We need to show that we're not increasing rate or volume of runoff from the site post-construction. And it mostly flows to Little Harbor, as almost all of it. So from there, I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
One point I just would, and it's outside the part of the review process here, but is lighting a part of that plan that you have on that landscaping plan? Was there lighting?
Typically, no. I can see if we have a lighting plan. We probably have not. We may not have advanced it that far yet.
Okay, I just wanted to know whether that was included on there or not, whether there could be any
Landscape lighting.
yeah, whether that was included in the schematics there or not, because that typically also involves trenching. So I just wanted to know whether conduits for landscape lighting would involve any removal of ledge either. So that's where I was headed with that.
Okay.
But I'm happy to turn it over to the board for questions and discussion on this. And Clark, if you want to start.
Well, we were gonna get a review by the peer reviewer.
Yeah, we can, but is there any additional questions for Kevin right now before we kind of get
No,
into?
I don't have any additional questions.
Okay. Birgit,
Just a general question, what's the intended size of the house? Do you know?
I don't. Let me just see if we've noted it on the plan. We don't always for such an odd shaped house. I can't quickly calculate it for you
Yeah.
like a commercial site either. Let me see if I can dig that up while if Pat's gonna peer reviewer is going to speak for a minute. I might be able to get that info for you.
okay,
Why I'm asking, it's not, and kind of, yes, we say the house is exempt, but it's kind of like exempt to the extent, kind of what you need volume wise to construct your foundation or your basement, right? And kind of, so I just want to make sure that we are not over the limit there
Okay.
with removing ledge for it.
So I'll get you a square footage of the house footprint, and we are not removing any more ledge than is necessary to construct the house. I think we've put together a pretty comprehensive analysis to try to detail how we are protecting the the ledge and removing is, you know, the smallest amount possible, feasible.
Okay, and Amy and Deirdre, any points of clarification or any questions at this point? Just without holding things up, I would like to get it over to
Yeah, I won't hold
consultant.
it up. I just, quick question. Where, and I apologize if this was already said, where are we with, where is the applicant with the Conservation Commission?
Let's see.
This is, I don't know if you guys can hear us. This is Jill and Clive. We're the applicants. We were approved by Conservation last week.
Thanks, Jill.
Yeah, and I think
Thank
it's
you.
important. Yeah, it's important to note too that the existing dwelling, the reason why it's situated where it is, the existing dwelling actually is in violation of some zoning
Yeah,
setbacks.
I was down there today, so.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, we were trying to put it in a place that you know, was compliant, but also protected the ledge. So we're trying the best we can to mitigate and also comply, if that's.
Understood. Thank you. Amy, any good thing you want to bring up briefly?
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the swimming pool and the deck. There wasn't anything said about it, and so I'd like to hear on what's the plan.
I'm not sure if I 100% follow that question.
Well, so it looks to me like it's a structure, and it's got a pool in the middle of it. It's got some kind of area around the pool, which I presume is some kind of decking. And so then the question is, what is the decking? What's below the decking? And also whether or not there's going to be the requirement of ledge removal for the swimming pool.
Sure. So
Can I
the,
just ask, is this an in-ground pool, or is this one of the, you know, with a pool with the deck around it, so it appears as an in-ground pool? That might help, Ms. Glassmere.
Jill or Clive, you might have
Yeah.
a better handle on that than I do.
Yeah, the pool is going to have a bluestone solid surround with plantings just within the cappings. And at the bottom, it's basically, because of the elevation, it is raised. So it's going to have a stone wall around it because of the drop off on, you know, with the slope away from the house. And then that paving, if you like, extends through to under the deck up to the house. And the proposed deck is at the first floor level, whereas the pool is effectively at the basement level. Does that make sense?
So you have this set of stairs
Mhm.
Yeah.
to gain access here.
Yeah.
Existing grade is about 20 in this location. The pool deck is at 18.5, and then the bottom of the wall you have 16 and 15. So it's at approximately a 2 to 3 foot wall located here.
So then that means there's no ledge being removed, is that correct?
There is ledge that projects into that will no longer be exposed in this location and also here.
But it'll remain there, just be covered. Is that right?
I believe, no, well, a bit of both. I mean, if this is this portion of the pool, I'm not sure how deep that would be here. It looks like there's some steps. If this is at grade and we located it, then I believe it would need to be removed a bit. It will, you know, a portion of it will still be there. It will just be cut down to allow the construction.
Okay, so that's in the calculations?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And just one final, there's a patio area, looks like a round area, tucked in between some existing ledge over
Yeah.
to the, to the right there, the circular patio feature. Is that, can you just describe that?
Is that
That's
also,
that's actually existing.
But
So
it's a different shape.
it's yeah, that's actually there today.
Okay.
so are you going to bluestone that as well? Do you have a type of stone picked out?
We
So
haven't
go back.
picked out a stone, but
Okay.
we'll probably do a bluestone. I mean, it's got something there now which is impervious.
Yeah, so here's the existing patio shape. This is in
Yeah.
the same location. This
Yeah.
this is a great location because it provides, well, it's there already, and it provides great outdoor views, elevated outdoor views of Little Harbor. So this is they had thought this out many years ago and placed this here, and obviously the Standishes recognize that and want to get the same.
Yeah, it appears to be
view.
a pretty unique and interesting feature. And to hear that it's been cited and has been there for a while, it probably does really have some nice promontory views from there.
Mm.
It's interesting how it's tucked in between the ledges, so you get some feature, some visuals of the ledge right next to it too, some coziness. So Patrick, can you let us know what you reviewed and then reviewed again?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pat Brennan, PGB Engineering. So I reviewed the initial plan that was submitted and had some comments. I don't believe Kevin had the newer land alteration regulations when they prepared the original plan. So I'd asked him to do a few things that he kind of ran through already. One of them was in the original application, they said, they're removing 101.2 cubic yards of ledge. So I asked them to provide a breakdown, how much ledge was going to be removed for the house, how much for the pool, how much for the driveway. And at the time, they also had a guest house that was proposed. And that was proposed in the area. If you see the two drainage infiltration structures there, the one to the right, that was the location of the proposed guest house, which has been removed on the revised set of plans. So they did go through that procedure. I asked them to provide not only the cubic yards of removal, but the square feet of exposed ledge that would be eliminated. So they provided that. Kevin ran through that table with you. To go back to the question about the pool, they calculated 5 cubic yards to be removed for the pool itself. So there's I think the majority of the loss at the pool, as Ms. Glassmeyer had mentioned, it's because it's going to be covered up and not necessarily removed. There's only 5 cubic yards that are being removed. And then my second comment was I asked them to identify areas where they could expose ledge to come up with that one-to-one mitigation for removing ledge face. And they did that, and as Kevin mentioned, they're more than doubling, or they're proposing to more than double the exposed ledge than what they're losing. And then my comment, another one of my comments was about the subsurface infiltration systems. One of them was located, the one to the left was located where it is now, the other one was in a different location. And looking at the topography on the previous set of plans, I was concerned that there's going to be additional ledge removal required to install those systems because they're subsurface, you have to dig down and put them in. They did do some test pits out there, so the one to the left, that's going to be kind of almost constructed in fill, so they, we're pretty, and the test pit showed that the ledge was down a little bit deeper there. So that one, they shouldn't need any ledge removal for that one. The one to the right, similarly, they're filling around that to put that in. So they should have enough room to put that one in as well without ledge removal. So I think they took care of that, and that may have been one of the reasons for getting, eliminating the guest house from the project. So those were, you know, my main comments when I went through it, just to going through the new, you know, the new bylaw. And those were the areas that I asked them to look into, and they did, and that this plan shows what they've done in response to those comments. And I believe they did, as I said, they were at 101.2 cubic yards on the original submittal. They're down to 94. As I mentioned, five of those is for the pool and patio, and another 5 is for the driveway. The other 84 is all for the house itself. So that's what my review revolved around, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Patrick. So let's turn it over to the board right now for any discussion, points of clarification, and if Patrick, you want to just hang by in case there's any points of clarification that we need to get from you during this, that would be appreciated. Clark, you want to start off?
Yeah, well, I'd like to say that the graphic approach to the locations of ledge exposure and ledge removal and existing ledge makes this very easy to understand. Understand the scale of what you're doing and what you're trying to provide for remediation. Generally, I think it's excellent. I'm hoping that all ledge applications do something like what you've done here. Hopefully it'll become the standard.
Great, thank you. Good to hear.
Agree, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay,
I guess
Clark.
I would be going next.
Sure, thank you. Go ahead. Thank you, Clark. Go ahead, Amy. Yes, go ahead, Amy.
There we go. Can you talk a little bit about the positioning of the house in relationship to the 50 and the 100-foot buffer? And I'm particularly interested in the questions of runoff and what you're going to be able to do to mitigate the movement of the water across quite a long distance, both for the purposes of landscaping, because it'll overwater and have salt infiltration. But I just would like to know what's going on at the edge of the property relative to the buffers.
Okay. Green line here is the 100-foot buffer zone. Basically, this green line with the red, this green line here is the 50-foot buffer zone. The limit of work is the red line. The stormwater system consists of subsurface infiltration structures. Basically what we're going to be doing is picking up the roof, routing that to the structures, providing infiltration, slowing down the rate of runoff, as well as the volume of runoff. Let me see if I can get to the post-development plan here real quick. Well, I guess we can look at the pre first. Currently, what happens is there's no stormwater attenuation at all, really. There is an old drainage pit that we did just recently find. The clay tile pipes actually go out to this. The cover on it's broken. It's very small. I think what happens now is it just overwhelms it and it goes off site. So there's no real drainage attenuation. We have the direction arrow showing you what's going on here currently. Not too dissimilarly, water's going to flow downhill. We do have the little harbor here. So we're not changing the grades very much, as I pointed out earlier. We do need some fine grading in the vicinity of the house, trying to maintain the ledge character of the site, minimize fill, cuts and fills, etc. The stormwater is broken up into it's like 5 different sections. Basically, the roof runoff is captured, and that is infiltrated or held back in these drainage structures, and then everything else, as it does in the pre, runs over the ledge, the vegetation, natural landscapes prior to reaching the wetland resource area. I showed you the landscape plan earlier. Looks like we are going to be adding additional plantings in there that should provide additional treatment of runoff prior to any discharge to the Little Harbor. I hope that helped answer the questions.
Yeah, so the area that you described as some sort of a staging area for water, are you going to reactivate that in a more modern way so that that becomes a storage basin rather than trying to ensure that downspouts and various man-made features are going to be the primary use choice otherwise?
So the existing dry well that's out there is no longer functioning to attenuate any stormwater, but not dissimilarly, we're doing a very similar thing here. We're just modernizing it with more volume, more crushed stone, more infiltration capacity, and that's going to help us meet the stormwater requirements that require us to reduce the rate of runoff to the downstream receiving waters. So we're mimicking what the old house was doing. However, in order to comply, we do need to modernize the stormwater system.
So what did Concom say about this project? It's encroaching on the 100 and the 50. How did that conversation end?
As I indicated earlier, I think I did. My associate Paul Seberg was the project manager on this, and he happens to be taking a vacation in July. So you're getting me today. I was not at that hearing, and I cannot speak to what the conversation was, unfortunately. But if they approved it, they must have seen the merits of the application and issued the order of conditions.
Okay, the last question is, what's the height of the building going to be? It's got a very tall chimney. It looks quite English. Could fit in an English ancient city. So is that going to be modified?
The existing building?
Chimney? No, the chimney.
On the proposed house?
That's correct.
Let's see, height on the height. There is a sheet here where we're calculating the height. I can't speak to the, excuse me. I can't speak to the chimney. I was looking through our files for the architectural plans, and I do not have a good handle on them at the moment. We do have a calculation of the ridge height and the average grade here. The building is complying with zoning. It's 34.6 feet, requirements 35. We've done a comprehensive calculation table to show how we did the calculation and how we comply with the requirements. The chimneys are typically allowed to project higher into the above the required maximum building height. As you know, that you want to have your flue extend above the building.
But is there a limit to the height?
I would have to check the zoning bylaw on that, but and I don't know it off the top of my head. Typically it says the building height is applies to structures, and it excludes items such as chimneys, steeples, and other, in some cases, antennas and other similar features. And this will be and probably has been reviewed by the zoning enforcement officer. This will still have to be apply for a building permit and meet that requirement.
So that the actual plans for the project would be circulated to us at the time that they are in the finishing stage. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right. So right now we're speaking only of a setting and the kind of mechanics of how a house would sit in a situation like this, and we don't actually have the ability to look at the formal expected design. So we will
Bear
see
with
that.
me for one. I do have some. There we go. Let me grab that for you. I do have elevations. They're not renderings. They're just not colored. I guess they are, but they're elevation views. Where max ridge height, kind of difficult to see, but I can scroll over and you can see how the chimney projects. It looks like a 2 feet higher than the max elevation.
So we will see you again then, correct, in terms of lighting and other incidentals that the planning board has authority over. Is that correct?
I
You're
think this
asking
is,
about large home review, right?
yeah, this is compliant in terms of when we were designing the home, we made sure that it was within the limits of the height, and it is within the, it's not a large home review, so this is underneath that limit in terms of heated space. So we don't have to go through another review in terms of lighting and et cetera. It's not within the large home review.
Well, the lighting is relates to all structures. So it's just a question of the kind of lighting that you're going to use, which we feel very strongly about using dark sky. So we typically get a picture of the layout of where the lighting will be. And that is across the board for anything that we do.
Yeah, I can tell you that if you walk the property right now, there's two, there are 3 large lights that we are planning on removing. This home was, we live next door to this home. So in pure disclosure, the woman who lived there for 55 years, and we took care of her until the end. And we loved her dearly. And she knew we were interested in the home, but the home was very much neglected. If you walk the property, you'll see it. Which is why we were thinking of keeping the original structure, but it was violation of zoning, and it was really it's really too old. So I can assure you and the board that we're improving the property. It doesn't have drainage today. It has lights that I think if you saw them, Amy, you would probably say, please take those out.
Is that Martian light out on the back?
Yes.
What is that?
It's terrible. It's terrible is what
Is that
it
an
is.
outdoor light? Does that actually work?
No, well, hopefully not, because we've never turned it on.
Okay, but when you have the things set up such that you will have that diagrammed and we will see it, that would be, it's basically, we kind of do it one for all and all for one, right? So
Yeah.
Is there a regulatory process for that we need to be aware of? Yeah. Pat, are you aware of, since we're not going to large home review, when would the planning board get another shot at this? I'm sure the plans will be routed, and I'm sure that the lighting will be dark sky compliant, because nobody's going to want light shining up into their house in this type of setting, everybody does modern, dark sky compliant lighting
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the most part now. So I'm just curious what the regulatory requirement to come back to you is.
I don't think there is one. It would be if you had to go for large room of view, but
Okay.
there
Just- Go ahead, Clark. I'm sorry. I have a quick question. The current house is 45, 491 square feet. Are you putting that, is that the size of the house that's going up there?
So I think we're under 6,000, which is the reg for large home review.
I think the actual reg, because it's a 1.4 acre site,
Okay,
it's
sorry.
something like
I-
6.3
Yeah.
thousand.
My mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite a large plot. Yeah.
Okay, the point with regard to lighting is one person's improvement on lighting can be someone else's bane on lighting. So when it goes in front of the board for a large home review, we do take a closer look at that so that fixtures are dark sky compliant, anti-glare, downward facing, don't provide trespass across property lines, just really accent a property as opposed to overly illuminate something. And the thought that's gone into your plans here and your schematics showing the details on them, I would just be surprised, given the high level of detail and thought that's gone into what's in front of us here, doesn't include a lighting component. So that's where I think, that may be something that would be formally, discussed and put in front of the board with a large home review, including that in, detailed, thoughtful designs like you have here, wouldn't surprise us, and we welcome that. To the extent that can be incorporated into this project, the board would highly recommend that. You have great exposure from multiple sides, vantage points from the water. And, this is a wooded area, so, with some distance to neighbors, so trespass may be minimized, but the water is all we have these days, it seems like, to preserve dark skies. So trespass from a overly illuminated property next to water just doesn't help anyone. So just the thought that can go into that and be incorporated into here is what the planning board looks for, whether it's a large home review or not. So
Yeah.
the questions are valid, and the discussion on that is appreciated.
Yeah.
Birgit, do you have some comments? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to keep things moving here. Go ahead, Jill.
I was just going to say, since we live on Little Harbor currently, there's a little bit of self-policing that goes on. Believe me, if there is a light that no one likes, we hear about it. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, and that's sometimes how it is throughout town. With regard to lighting issues. So duly noted and appreciated. Amy, if you don't have anything else, let me move it on to Birgit, and then
Go ahead.
Deirdre.
Okay, yeah, I can hold it. I was expecting Deirdre to take over next. Just a question, could you point out the setback violations again that you were encountering? You had kind of one picture with the old house, and then that's just for my information.
Sure. Existing structure is located 14 feet from the side lot line, 49 feet from the center line.
Okay, so we are just under, yeah.
Yep. And there's 43 feet from this entry and 46.8 from this corner. The rest is probably compliant.
Okay. So it's not, it is violating, but it's not hugely violating,
Yeah,
right?
it's not significant. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to get back to the volume. I mean, first of all, let me say I wanted to repeat what Clark said. I really liked the way that you had your display here, your drawings of kind of what is there, what will be removed, what will be exposed, and instead this is very clear. And I want to reiterate, I wish we could put that as a standard, because that is very, very helpful to review our kind of current bylaw.
Thank you.
What I do want to point out, though, is the 1-to-1 mitigation. So what the core of the bylaw is saying is that we look at the volume of the structure that you want to create. So the volume for constructing the swimming pool, the volume for constructing the patio, etc. If you have a kind of a sports field, the volume for creating the field, the same goes for the driveway. The driveway is not very deep, so the volume is not incredibly kind of much. And we want to make sure that you don't take out more volume in ledge than you need exactly for building your construction. So I think with all of the ones that you were showing us here, this is actually meeting our requirement, because as you said, you would chop off the ledge a little bit to make the pool fit. And the same for the ledge that the garage is going to be built on, including the drainage system. So it's, as far as I understand, it's not going to be taken out completely, but it's chopped off and made use of to build on top of it afterwards. That with that approach, I think kind of we are well in the range of finding kind of the 1-to-1 measure, and actually well below that. So the 1-to-1 measure that we predominantly look at, what we first look at is kind of are you kind of in need of taking out more ledge volume wise than what your actual construction requires. And if this is kind of this requirement is fulfilled, then we don't need to look any further. If it's not quite matching, and that's really not quite in a kind of 1-to-5 ratio, right? Then we may look, and that's kind of like specifically formulated that way. We may look at, okay, where can you expose ledge? Now, exposing ledge is not necessarily just taking off some, kind of de-weeding some vegetation of an existing ledge somewhere in on the property, but it's really kind of like more meant to unearthing new ledge. If existing ledge is existing ledge, and if you cut down or blast kind of the ledge next door, we haven't won anything. Nothing. There is no mitigation, except for saying, well, I'm not going to blast that one. So the exposing a ledge is really in looking for areas where you can kind of unearth new ledge. A good example of that is in Whitehead Lane right now, kind of where they actually did, kind of for building a pool and earth new ledge. Anyhow, so that's just as an explanation. I very much appreciate, you know, and kind of pointing out the mitigations here for the unearthing of the ledge. It's going to be, you know, and kind of pretty. It's not necessarily what we are looking for when we say, you know, kind of on a you know, kind of, so to say, 1-to-1 ratio, unearthing, you know, and exposing ledge. But this is background information. You did a wonderful job. I really like the way that you are designing the house and how you are, you know, kind of trying to work with the topography of the property and not just look at it and level it all and then kind of decide on what to build on top of it. But you really, you know, kind of did a wonderful job in working, you know, kind of with the topography and with the property. I mean, you've been living next door, you probably, you know, looked at it, you know, kind of long enough to get a wonderful idea of what to do with it. That was all for me.
Thank you.
And you muted?
Sorry, whenever I move my screen, it seemed to hit the mute button.
Okay.
Thank you, Birgit. I will point out that I think, you know, some of these areas of what is legitimately new exposed ledge versus already exposed on the edges of it, you know, there's room for debate with regard to what one person is unearthing and whether that can be used in the calculus or not. You know, I know sometimes, you know, ledge typically doesn't just drop at the edge of what's currently exposed. You can peel back roots that are going across the ledge, and that may have, you know, grabbed some silt and sediment over time to create a thin veneer of soil on top of the ledge, and it can be exposed with minimal effort, you know, mechanically, and it can be beautiful ledge, and that can increase the square footage of exposed ledge. You know, you can, there are various ways of doing it, and whether it's already exposed ledge and you're including the area of that, you know, in my understanding of that, that could be included in a 1-to-1 calculation. So I just want to point out that there are some room for debate with regard to this as we move forward on these things.
Yeah,
Deirdre,
absolutely. And I'm
Thank
just-
you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brigitte.
Yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, kind of say like certainly, and this is something that's why we are saying we may, you know, kind of accept it, because these, you know, kind of mitigation issues, you know, items are, you know, kind of, as you said, Kevin, there's room for debate, but we should debate it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and you know, this we'll get to the right point. It's going to, you know, definitive answers at this time, you know, because this is one of the newer projects. And again, that's why this is so useful, Kevin, the effort that's gone through with you and your clients to put this in front of us in the manner that you have is to be commended. So thank you for that. Deirdre?
Echo Kevin's last comment there. After walking several times, I walk a lot, so I'm down Gammons Road a lot. And I have some friends that live down there, and I have to say, the house is antiquated. It definitely needs some updating. And I think you've presented thus far a very full and accurate plan. I appreciate the fact the ledge that's immediately to the left of the driveway is a beautiful piece of granite, and the fact that you're adding to it, if I understand that correctly, they'll be more exposed, is a good attraction to the presentation of the house or the new house. And the removal of those 2 trees in the front to the right of the driveway, I understand they're kind of overgrown and at this point not serving any purpose, but I know I didn't really look too accurately at the planting plan. I hope that something can go in there, because there is more ledge and I'm sure it's going to be beautifully landscaped around that ledge that's in the front, because you do have a very special piece of property on Little Harbor there that you have so far that I've seen has been touched very gently. I see that we're doing as much as we can to preserve that uniqueness of that piece of property. And I think part of that is that you've been living on that property for next door to that property and looking at it, as Amy said, for a long time. So now we are, as far as I'm concerned, I think we've gotten a tremendous presentation tonight, probably, as I should say, a model for us moving forward. So I appreciate all the applicants and their engineers' work tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deirdre. I will, before I entertain a motion for this project, I want to see if there's any questions or comments from the public. And if someone could check that,
Yep, so you have one member of the public with their hand raised. I can promote them.
that would be great. Appreciate that.
Sure. So Mary Ann Kay is being promoted.
Hello.
Marianne, if you can hear us and acknowledge by stating your name and address, that would be appreciated.
Hi, I'm Marianne Weatherall from 49 Redgate Lane. I've been invited to this conversation for the Open Space Committee, which was invited to speak on the land alteration law.
Hi, welcome, Marianne. Thank you.
So I'm here just providing my observations. I was previously on the Cohasset Conservation Commission. So I did look over the application for the committee. I saw that the homeowner is trying to fit this home into this special lot, which I thought was very great. Nevertheless, I was surprised by the amount of ledge disturbance on the plan. The home, I understand the home is, I just saw that the home, it looked like the home was exceeding the footprint. There was activity in the 100-foot buffer zone. And I was just aware of the concrete driveway as well. So I'm just passing this along as I see this. I think the plan shows the existing ledge, but it doesn't indicate the amount of ledge underneath, which is probably deep and connected. I don't have the volume measurements, but I just wanted to point that out. The pool area and the tree removal, there's a marker indicating it's about 29.5 feet near a wetland salt pond as well. And I wanted some more clarification on that, where the angle of that pool located. I didn't get a clear understanding if there was a pool with a deck around it or not. Just as we know from open space issues that Cohasset's well known for its ledge and tree-lined coast that keeps a layered visual landscape. And removing these vertical spaces creates increased runoff, disjointedness, and changes the view a bit to a stark view. Protecting a wetland salt pond seems incredibly important as stormwater issues and pool drainage can dilute the natural saltwater levels and the habitat of salt-tolerant vegetation and marine life. So as you look at the land alteration law, I just wanted to be aware particularly of that saltwater pond that's nearby and how you're going to be protecting that as well. Construction near a saltwater pond can affect migratory birds and wildlife and fish. And so this was some of our concerns. So I just wanted to pass that along. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. Were those concerns raised at the Concom meeting? Were you an attendee at that? Or you were
No, I
past
I
attendee?
was not. I'm representing the Open Space Committee.
Right, okay. Our understanding would be that those issues would have been raised and approved, but no harm in raising them here and giving Kevin an opportunity to opine on that. One thing you said was with regard to the location of the pool in close proximity to a saltwater pond. And, you know, that raises a question in my mind too, Kevin. Are there specific features that are going to be, you know, where's the drainage for the pool going to go to? You know, is it just going to go out the topographic low point, you know, wherever it is on the lowest end of the pool, or is there going to be drainage which could be problematic if that's in the closer proximity to the saltwater pond feature versus will it go to one of these infiltration galleries?
We can route it to the infiltration system. I don't know if we have designed that, but this may be a self-contained pool filter system that doesn't need to backwash or anything. It's pretty typical these days. But when they drain it down, we could route it to the stormwater system, assuming there isn't a storm, ongoing at the same time, because we need that to function as part, to collect the current water coming from that storm. So I don't know that we've got that detail on here. Again, I know a lot about this project, but I do not know all those necessary fine details, as my designer, who is primarily working on this, is on vacation this week. So I don't know where the pool filter is and how that is
So
how that is
I would
configured.
envision that would be a engineering detail that we would want to see incorporated into the design of this. One concern I'd have would be if would that be gravity fed, or would it require the use of a lift pump to get it over into an infiltration gallery if you're at the low point of the pool and that's on the lower side of the property? Then we have some elevations to deal with to get it to the closest infiltration gallery and capacity of that.
Yes, so the infiltration systems are probably elevation 13 and below. The pool is up at elevation 18, so we do have 5 feet of elevation to work with there.
Okay. Just putting it out to the board, that would be something that we can include as a condition for this approval. Would that work?
Kevin, wait a minute. Birgit has a question and I have a question.
So you got the mic. Go ahead, Amy. Then I'll go to Birgit. I see her hands up.
Okay, so to this point, we have a good understanding of what is expected, what is appreciated, and what is hopefully the objective. And at the same time, this conversation that just started about open space and also the set of issues that are related to being so close to water and the existence of a swimming pool and those kind of questions, I'm just wondering whether or not it would be our responsibility to try to get the answer to those questions so that this is a project that's tied up with the bow and nice paper.
Yeah, I think approval of that would be by way of Concom and the Concom's purview and under their jurisdiction to approve that with those considerations. I don't think that's something that is within our they're great and they're valid points. I just don't think that's something within our purview. I think that's something tied into the Conservation Commission's approval or approval with conditions for this project. Birgit?
I had a point that I actually wanted to make earlier, and Mary Ann's comments reminded me of that. So going back to, and that's actually the original application here for the ledge removal. In order to fully evaluate that, we would need I know that you have given volume sizes. That was, kind of, I think, kind of in entirety of ledge to be removed, and then it was mapped against the mitigated suggested ledge in terms of volume. I'd like to stress again the main point that the core of this bylaw is to look at how much ledge needs to be removed for the structure to be built. And these two need to be matching on a one-to-one level. This is the one-to-one level that we are requiring first. And then we, as kind of we said here a couple times, then we may look into mitigation in other areas. But the primary question to answer is kind of the volume of the structure versus the volume of the ledge to be removed. So in this and this is a condition that I would like to add here. I don't think we have it on that specification on that level. So what we would need to know is how much ledge are you actually anticipating of removing for the swimming pool area, and how much does the swimming pool area in volume require to be built, where kind of the ledge is affected. There are two pieces of ledge here, right? So we need the two pieces of ledge in volume and have that matched against the swimming pool volume in cubic yards. Same for the other structures where ledge is to be removed. So that's the one-on-one table that needs to be added there.
The pool area, we have calculated the 5 cubic yards to be removed. The exposed face, we've
Okay,
also
got it.
provided.
Yep.
And so the volumes on this side and the exposed face.
And that's so exposed ledge. So let me
Let me zoom in just a little more for you.
yeah. So what is the first column reading? Not the very first. So proposed. So for the pool and patio area. So what's the 307 describing?
That would be the exposed ledge face. We're going to put a pool on top of it, right? That's the blue. And then to construct the pool, we've calculated 5 cubic yards needs to be removed. I don't think that's going to remove the entirety of the depth of the ledge. I'm sure it goes significantly deeper than that. So we need to remove 5 cubic yards in order to provide the volume for this pool. So
Right.
you will no longer be able to see this exposure. We'll take 5 cubic yards off of the top. The ledge will still be there. There'll just be a pool above it. Yeah.
And that's fine. And because that's the case with most of your structures, and kind of the critical mass here will most likely not be reached. But kind of if you have a flat say a sports field, which we had recently, right? You have a sports field and you can calculate how much volume wise you need to build for your sports field. And then there is a ledge and that needs to be taken down. That's right in the way. And that ledge is in volume, kind of 4 times as what you actually need for your field. Then this would be a reason of not approving, kind of the ledge removal request, because this is a ratio of 1:4 and not 1:1. So what I would like in this application is just kind of to also add the volume of the swimming pool, kind of that you need for building it, so that it's really, really clear that 5 cubic yards are a lot less than the whole swimming pool structure. And the same for the other areas.
My understanding is that's already in that table. The table
Correct.
shows square footage and this table shows volumetric measurements for the different features, including the house, driveway, pool
the-
feature. It's done. And the one-to-one mitigation is apparently sufficient based on the calculations and what's been attested to and shown on this plan. I
Okay.
think your point is spot on. You know, the reason there's a volumetric component to this is so people don't start taking out topographic features that may be made out of ledge
Okay, no,
and
no,
start holistically removing, you know, unique topographic features.
Yeah.
Based on the volume calculations here, that's not being done. And based on the surface calculations that are done here on an area basis, you know, both the one-to-one is being met sufficiently on both sides, both on a volume side and on a area side.
okay. Is the pool patio area the 307, for example, right? That's square footage and it's not cubic yard. So like what I'm saying is what I would like a third column that specifies the pool that is to be built in terms of cubic yards. And then, and maybe that have that as the first column. And then, you know, kind of you can say there is a ledge in the way. It's 307 well, that's square feet. That's not quite matching then, but to be in order to be able to compare, my pool needs, I'm just making that up, right? It's going to be 500 cubic yards. And that's what it takes to you know, kind of calculate the full pool. And the ledge that is there has a certain volume, and I need it in volume. And then what is to be removed is wonderfully stated here already. That's fine. So that we can really, you know, and kind of compare, you know, and kind of, this is what I want to build. This is in my way. How much is in my way, you know, and kind of in order so that I can build this.
That's tough to quantify. So the entire pool, even the part that's sticking out of the ground, you want to get a volume of, would that be the same for the house?
The
You have a
house,
volume of the house, and is that below grade, above grade?
so for the house, we're saying what is exempt for the house. The part that is
Well,
exempt
Yep.
is we are saying, you know, and kind of what you need for your build your basement, or what you need for building your foundation. Again, in cubic yards, you know, not the entire house, but you know, kind of, so what you need to take out, so to say, right? You need to take out something to build your basement, or if you don't have a basement, it's going to be less. You know, kind of, you need to take out enough in order to build a solid foundation. That has a measurement in cubic yards. That's what we are saying. That's the part that is exempt. And that's, you know, kind of would be great to have that cubic yard, you know, kind of so that we have a what you need in order, you know, kind of to compare that for, you know, and kind of how much ledge that is in your way do you need to take out for it? Also in cubic yards.
Patrick's got a
Um,
question.
Patrick has his hand up.
Yeah, I just for round numbers, for that size pool, if it was an average depth of 3 feet, that's 64 cubic yards. If
Okay.
it was 4
that's-
feet, if it's 4 feet, it's 84 cubic yards. They're removing 5.
That's perfect. That would have been, you know, kind of the measurement that I would, yeah, kind of
And I
like to see. I mean, I'm kind of, it's a tiny bit of a moot point here because I see that, you know, kind of you are way under the limits, but this is the, you know, kind of comparison that we want to see.
I just did the same calculation for the basement, assuming a 7-foot basement, 1,000 cubic yards.
I think the basement is a 10-foot basement. I'm seeing,
Yeah, just for
top of-
for a number.
okay,
Sorry.
I'm seeing first floor and then I'm seeing slab elevation, and
Yeah.
it's an approximate 10-foot difference.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah,
You know,
1,500.
I don't want perfection to get in the way of us making a decision on this tonight. So, I think we've had some fruitful discussion here. I'm gonna close out the discussion if there's no more public comments on this. And, I'd like to entertain a motion. If we need some conditions on here for additional clarifications, I am all for that. I think this is a good, robust plan, a thoughtful plan. I'll point out that I like how the exposed ledge is in the upland area of this site. It's not down by where the water is. That could increase velocities. If you're going to expose ledge, you do it in upland areas. That appears to be what's been done here on the side, on the upland side of the site for where they are going to do some exposure. I think this is a solid, well thought through, and well presented. I think there can be some room for clarification and improvement. I'm open to any type of condition with regard to that, to clarify that. So I'm ready to, do we formally close out the public comment, or is that how this is done here?
Well, I was gonna make a motion to close the public hearing and approve the special permit as detailed.
With
Okay,
the
let's go,
condition that
let's
I
just separate that out. Can we just close out the public comment right here? Do I hear a second for closing out the public comment?
second.
Okay. All right, the public comment for this project has been closed. I heard a motion, Clark, with regard to approving this with regard to how it is presented now. I'm hearing Birgit has some additional points of clarification she'd like to roll into this.
I would like what I just pointed out to have, kind of the condition of adding these specifications. And if this is added to it, then this would be a wonderfully totally round plan, and I would be all for it. Yeah, kind of, so yeah, but the condition.
Can we land on a succinct description of this additional column or additional detail that you feel is warranted?
You're breaking up a
As
little,
an
Kevin.
addition to this plan as an area column, and I'm seeing it broken down for different portions of this project in different areas.
As I said, I would suggest to add, Kevin, could you do me your writing, right? Could you do me the favor of moving a tiny bit over to see the table again? Perfect. Thank you very much. So,
Welcome.
I would like a second column, so after the proposed and the naming of the structures, have a next column saying, the size of each of these. For the primary house, we need the basement or foundation structure, a foundation size in cubic yards, and then all the accessories, the pool, as was just mentioned, the 6
I think
yards,
I
and
understand
so on.
now, Birgit. So you want an additional column between the proposed column and the exposed ledge face removed square foot column that introduces the total area or total volume for that particular item?
For the volume of the structure to be built, correct.
So you want to say proposed, and then the next line, primary house, and then to the right, the next column would be total volume just total volume. You want the total volume regardless of whether there's ledge or not ledge there for that element of the proposed feature.
Yeah, I mean, this is only relevant if we have to remove ledge in order to build the pool or the foundation, etc. So yeah, the ledge will come into play in the next two columns. First, I need to know how big is
What's
the
the total?
structure you want to build?
Okay, I understand that, and you want that in volume. So that
In
addition,
cubic yards, please, yes. Because then we can compare it to the cubic yards of ledge that need to be removed.
so you want cubic yards, which is volume. And that's what you want for that additional column.
Correct.
Total cubic yards for that feature
Yeah.
identified
if it's
on the left.
Mhm.
Okay. Kevin, does that make sense? Is that something you can,
I think I understand it because we calculated some of it. I gave the existing house times the depth. So the area of the house times the depth of the foundation gives us a volume requirement. And I would put that in the column. Same thing
a
with the
total
pool.
volume, not necessarily, well, it's a total volume for that feature as you've designed it, yes.
Yeah, what would I do for a volume of a patio? Because it's not it's a 3-inch. This gets pretty complicated, or a driveway.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's a veneer, and it goes down so that it's the asphalt surface, the bed underneath it, and then a drainage layer, whatever the total thickness of that is, would be what you use for a driveway, and the same thing for a patio.
Okay.
Yep.
And
If it was a cut,
it can be
it's
on the
not-
order of fractions of feet. I mean, yeah, some of those things are certainly less than a foot thick.
Okay.
Cassandra has her hand raised.
Cassandra?
Thank you, Clark. I just wanted to know, and you may have already been planning this, but you did the first and the second for the motion to close the public hearing, but you did not do the roll call.
Okay.
So I just wanted to
I
make
think
sure
they
that-
did just to close the public comment, Cassandra, if I was following closely enough.
I think Clark's motion was to close the public hearing.
It was, okay, and just for
so-
future reference, you don't even really need a motion
No,
to close the
just
public
the
comment.
yeah, just a
The
comment.
chair can just close the public comment when it seems like nobody is ready to comment anymore.
Okay.
You can do a motion by motion if you want to, but certainly to close the public hearing needs a motion, a second, and a vote.
Okay, so we've closed the public hearing.
We didn't
Clark put
vote.
that motion out. Did we get the second? Deirdre, I believe you seconded.
We
Okay,
closed the public comment.
close
we
the
didn't
public
vote.
comment.
Did we close the public hearing?
No.
We can close the public hearing as well. Let's move this along. All those in favor?
Clark Brewer, aye. Yes.
Amy Glassmeyer, aye.
Kevin Heine, aye.
Deirdre Hobson,
Yep.
aye.
And Birgit Schmidt-Becher, aye.
So I'll make a separate motion that we approve the special permit subject to the applicant providing additional volume calculations as described previously.
Second.
Roll call vote. All those in favor?
Clark Brewer, aye. Yes.
Amy Glassmeyer, aye.
Kevin Heine, aye. Yes?
Deirdre Hobson, aye, yes.
And Birgit Schmidt-Becher, aye. Yes.
Okay, the
Great.
motion
Good luck.
carries with approval.
Good luck with your project.
Appreciate all the comments, everybody.
Good luck.
It's a very nice project. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I gotta figure out how to end the share.
All right, Cassandra, do we have some notes to approve?
Yes.
Meeting
you
minutes?
have- Yep, you have 2 sets of minutes. Let me just confirm the dates. It is for June 11th and May 28th. These are going back a little bit because you missed 2 meetings. So you may have
Motion to
look back.
approve minutes, just detailed.
Before we second that, I just, I did have a point of clarification on the earlier set. Cassandra, was that resolved?
Yes, so for everybody's information, Kevin had a point of clarification on something that he said. He just wanted it to be edited a little bit, so I did make that edit.
Cassandra, you are very low. I can hardly hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to speak louder. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those pickups are not great.
Yes, Kevin, I did make the small edit that
Okay.
you wanted to the minutes.
Appreciate that.
I did
Is there
not
a-
have any chance to read the minutes yet, so.
They were thorough. I,
I believe you.
and I thought they captured the essence of what those two meetings were, so I am comfortable with the minor correction, and that was just for something, a point that I had made. I think the software may have just captured what I said, and paired it up with another word or something. But if anyone can second that, we can. If no one wants to second it, then we're gonna have to do this on the future meeting. But I
I'll
did look at
second
them
it.
and I was comfortable with them. Okay, got
I'm
a second.
comfortable.
We'll approve
Second
those.
it.
Roll call vote.
Clark
Okay.
Brewer, aye, yes.
Amy Glassmeyer, yes.
Kevin Hine, yes.
Deirdre Hobson, yes.
What do I do if I say abstain? It doesn't make a
Abstain.
difference because you're already
ahead.
approved, but,
You can abstain.
okay, yep.
All right, so the approval of the minutes moves forward with 4 yeses and 1 abstaining member. Any other business, Cassandra? Any update that we can be shared with regard to outcomes from recent events?
You mean,
Yeah.
Meeting last night.
Yeah.
I talked to the town manager's office this morning. They did not have an update from town council. I was actually going to ask Justin, but he just popped off. So right now, I don't have a definitive answer for you. I know that the select board mentioned that they are next meeting. I think they said August 5th. So presumably that would be another joint meeting for those that can attend. I don't know what will occur at that meeting because obviously that's going to be dependent on what town council says. And I'll update you
Okay.
as soon as I know anything.
And, okay, and no idea of the procedure during that meeting. We're not gonna go through the interviews again, I suppose, because, yeah, kind of.
No.
I
Oh, God.
presume that, yeah, we would not be going through the interviews again because that already occurred. But I don't know where it leaves us with the vote.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn. If there's nothing else.
and, okay.
I don't think there's anything else.
And just quick question for, just confirming again, you will, kind of send us an email when anything from Carolyn came, kind of is being said, or how are we going to continue to be involved here?
So I would update you as soon as I hear anything from town council through email.
Amy?
Yes, I want to bring up or remind everyone of the following, which is Town of Cohasset is contracted with Beals and Thomas to update the town's open space and recreation plan for 2026. As a part of this process, we are planning a robust community engagement initiative that includes a kickoff public survey. As a member of this community, we would love for you to complete the survey when we have a moment. All are welcome to participate, so please feel free to share with your family and friends and colleagues. The more response, the better. The survey is open through August 31st and will be followed by a public forum on September 10th, 2025 at Wilcott Commons. A digital version can be accessed at this point. You have it in your email. Town Hall Building Department, 41 Highland Avenue, Paul Pratt. Memorial Library, 35 Ripley Road, Cohasset Elders, Wilcott Commons, 91 Sawyer, Cohasset Planning Department, 135 King Street, first floor. Calling all amateur and professional photographers, want your photos to be featured on the cover of the Open Space and Recreation Plan. Submit your photo of your favorite open space area of recreation facility here for a chance to win our OSRP photo contest. Photo submissions will be accepted through August 31st. The winner will be decided by a panel of judges and will be announced on September 10th for a public outreach meeting. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We hope you'll choose to participate. So it sounds like we're recruited to do something that has demographic information that will be the outcome, and they're interested in the open space and recreation plan.
And I can, kind of just add to that, the Open Space and Recreation Committee has been working quite hard on that, and it would really be, kind of very much appreciated if we could support them in that.
Thank you. All right, without anything else, we'll adjourn this meeting if someone wants to second Clark's motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, alphabetical roll call, please.
Clark Brewer, aye.
Amy Glassmeyer, yes.
Kevin Heine, aye.
Deirdre Hobson, aye.
And Birgit Schmidt-Besch, aye.
Good
Very
night,
good.
everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone. Good
Cassandra.
night.
Can we
Thank you,
settle on
Cassandra.
yes or I? How about I?
Well, I had a lot of difficulties with that, kind of recently. So, I mean, actually, I like the yes.
So we could do that because it's interpretable. That's fine. You just want to do one thing.
Not I and yes.
Whatever
or-
works best. If there's one that works better than the other, then I'm all for it. There is
Well,
some
it's
specific
clearer,
protocol.
right?
Yeah,
Yes versus no, you clearly hear the difference. And if we just say I and I, kind of, you may not always.
yeah, that's true. So we can endeavor to go with yes and no. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a good night.